What's going on, guys? Nate the Great coming at you. Hope you're having an amazing day. This is the very first video in the book review section, and today, and really what this is going to consist of is, I know a lot of people, they're not big into reading, but they still want to absorb as much knowledge as they can, right? So I wanted to make it a little bit more easier, more simplistic. You know, I do a lot of reading. I've read 23 books so far this year. You know, that might not be a lot. I know a guy that in the past 2 years, he's read over 700 books. You know, I know people that read sometimes 1 to 2 books a day, right? But I know as, you know, human beings, we all process information differently. So I figured, you know, with the knowledge that I've learned at the age of 21 years old, you know, what wouldn't be better than actually doing like little book reviews? And I've had people suggest that as well. Like, Nate, I think you should totally do book reviews. I thought about it, but I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do it. So here I am doing it. So I just got done reading this biography by Arnold Schwarzenegger called Total Recall. It's also a movie as well, as I'm sure some of you know. Maybe not a lot of the millennials around my age, but some of the like our parents and everything like that. But this book, honestly, I started this in like the end of February, beginning of March, and I just finished it. And some of you might be thinking, well, Nate, I mean, how have you read 20 some books already, right? So basically, the way that I do things, especially with genres of books, biographies are really great to read at night, because whenever you read a biography at nighttime, your mind starts to like, it's like a movie almost, you know, or a TV show. If you're watching a show at night, a lot of times you typically fall asleep. You know, I'm not saying everybody does, but you know, a majority of human beings do. And the reason is because it's like a story, it's like a movie, and you're playing like throughout the scenes, throughout like the plots and everything. So that's literally what a biography is. And it's crazy because I'm sure if you think back, whether it was in school or, you know, maybe you're big into reading already, or if you think back of the times where you read books about somebody, right, or someone, I guarantee you started to get a little bit more tired, right? And these books right here can be very tough to like just continue to go through. But the thing with this, and I'll do another video on like how I read and everything. You, like me personally, I had to read like every single page in this book. And you want to do that with biographies because yes, you can skim read and things like that, but it's really great to actually digest all the information. There's things that I learned in this book. For example, I didn't realize Arnold Schwarzenegger actually had a mentor that was into comedy. Basically, he wanted a mentor on how to, you know, become more funnier, you know, telling jokes and one-liners and things like that. I'm telling you, it's just simple things like that, right? So really with this book, I mean, it's about, you know, not including the acknowledgments and everything, it's about 619 pages long. There's about, I think there's like 29 chapters in this book. And as you can see, I mean, it's a very large book for real. You know, it's got like photos in it. A lot of biographies do, you know, have photos of, you know, the life of Arnold and everything like that. His family, his wife, who was Maria. You know, they're no longer together, of course, but yeah, you know, I learned a lot of great things from this book. A lot about his life with working out. One of my biggest takeaways is really just the reps. You know, Arnold came from the country of Austria, and just the way he was raised and everything with his family. His father, you know, his father was the type that if you didn't do something that you said you were going to do, or if you disobeyed, he's the type that would literally smack you across the face, right? And I think that's what gives Arnold that sort of competitive edge, and he says it in the book. You know, if it wasn't for his father, he wouldn't be where he's at today. And a lot of people, they look at things as if, oh, if my father wouldn't have hit me, I would have been so much better. But he took that and it motivated him. You know, with him going big into bodybuilding and in the gym, just hearing about the stories about what it took for him to actually get to where he was as, you know, Mr. Olympia and winning all those contests and shows. I mean, it's not easy. A lot of people think bodybuilding is just something simple. It's not. You know, you got to master the poses and everything like that. And with me, I mean, I'm starting to take my health serious, and this book has definitely been a big motivator for me to actually start working out. And I am starting to work out now. You know, I might not be And I don't want to be like, the Mr. Olympia or anything like that. I just want to get lean, right? So I definitely applied a lot to my life. And, it talks a lot about Terminator and, of course, Kindergarten Cop and just really his whole acting scene. I didn't realize, I did realize you got critiqued a lot for being an actor, but just the ins and outs that he was saying about it was crazy. Like, they treated him like dirt and disgust. Like, if he got things wrong, and just the story. And I mean, that's just one. Arnold Schwarzenegger is just one of many actors and many actresses that have been through shit, to be honest, to get to where they wanted to be. And one of the biggest things that I don't think a lot of people realize about Arnold Schwarzenegger, aside from all of his bodybuilding and acting, and of course being the governor of California, is he's really a master of marketing. I don't think a lot of people realize that. In the book, it talks a lot about how he really was the one that marketed a lot of his movies. Like, he's not the one that did all the marketing, but he's the one that came up with the ideas. He's the one that found the right marketing crew. And you bring in a marketing crew, a lot of people expect them to know everything, right? I'm a marketer. The clients that we have, they expect us to know. But he brought on the marketing crew. He still found gave ideas. He still, explored new things every single day on what it is that it can improve. And they just didn't know what to believe. Like, they couldn't believe it, So he was somebody that, and is somebody that is a really great marketer. And that's why the Terminator, that's why Kindergarten Cop, Total Recall, Conan the Barbarian, that's why a lot of those movies got as big as what they did. You got movies that are grossing millions of dollars, right? $10 million, $50 million. And, people look at him as always the Terminator, like, I'll be back, right? But really, in the book, it wasn't supposed to be, because he wanted to say, I will be back, instead of I'll be back. He wanted it to be, I will be back, because it sounds more robotic. It doesn't sound as much human. But I forget his name, but the director said, no, Arnold, you need to say, I'll be back. I'll be back. And if it wasn't for that, that's one of the greatest lines in movie history, right? So, man, I've learned so much from this book. You guys know reading is dear to my heart. This is a very long book. I do recommend it, though. It's an amazing biography. Honestly, this is one of the first biographies I've ever read. So, of course, I'm going to say it's one of the best biographies ever. But really, I'd say one of my biggest takeaways, and I want to do this with these book review videos, is, Arnold talks a lot about reps, right? And that's one of my biggest takeaways from this book. You need to do reps, or what he calls it, miles, right? The reason that, the people that are in the Olympics is because, for example, like figure skating, skiing, snowboarding, you got people like Shaun White, Lindsey Vonn, they're killing it. They've skied, they've snowboarded so many miles, right? Just like Malcolm Gladwell in Outliers says, you got to master something for 10,000 hours. Thomas Edison with the light bulb, you've tried over 10,000 times, right? You got to do the reps. Well, the gym, you got to do reps in the gym, of course, right? You're not just going to get big overnight. Oh my gosh, the way my body is, like, I'm lean, right? I got a high metabolism. I'm skinny as all get out, And that's the thing, like, you have to keep doing reps in order to be great, right? And that's sort of how this whole success and motivational principle goes into play. I'm sure you guys hear it a lot, but reps are everything. You can't eat junk food all the time. Like, yes, you can have a cheat day out of the week, but it's like, what are you going to do with those other 6 days? You have to stay consistent if you're trying to lose weight, right? So that's the thing, like, no matter what it is that you're trying to do, if you're trying to level up in corporate, just stay consistent. Keep hitting the numbers consistently, right? If you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to, become the next Mark Zuckerberg or the next Bill Gates, just stay consistent. All right, keep going to meetups, keep speaking, keep doing engagements, things like that. The more consistent you are, the more things will pay off. So anyways, guys, that's just a little bit of a book review. I don't want to talk too much about it. I know this is a little bit over 10 minutes, but I just wanted to give a little bit of insight so you guys can sort of feel and get a grasp of what this book is about. Like I said, it's an amazing book, Total Recall. It's also a movie as well. Of course, they say books are a little bit more deeper because they can't always, go in depth in the actual movie and things like that. I mean, again, like I said, it is a long read. So if you're looking to start reading about like a book and you're just looking to get into it, I don't recommend this as your first one. I would look at another biography about what you're passionate about and sort of read that. But hey, if you're up for the challenge, this is an amazing book to start out. But anyways, guys, stay tuned for my next book review. It's going to be on the story of the human body. It's a very different read, to say the least. It's more genetically wording, and to say the least, for the words. So stay tuned for that. Again, drop a like down below. I definitely appreciate that. I appreciate any comments that you have below. If you have questions like on anything with reading, how do you read effectively, or any book suggestions, like, hey, reach out below. I'm on Instagram, Nate the Great Peterman, and you can find my social links below as well. So anyways, guys, hope you're having an amazing day. Talk soon.